As Sophie's counterpart, Howl Pendragon. Hal Jenkins Pendragon? Howl Pendragon also has to have a historically appropriate to the Regency era outfit, and thankfully I've been able to convince my partner to join me on this adventure. He is going to be my very patient model as I attempt for the first time a pair of men's Regency pants. So hopefully that'll work out. Howl is also known for having a very simple silhouette, but he's got a lot of accessories, so we're going to try and tackle that as well over the course of this video. Hopefully it turns out how I have it in my head, but we'll see. This was my first time ordering from Blackbird Fabrics in BC, and I got a few selections of cotton block print, but this was the one that I picked out for Howl. I ordered a half a yard, and what I did was actually cut it into 2 lengthwise strips, and then cut that into 2 again, and French seamed them together to make one very long, thin band that will become a neckerchief. The reason why I picked this pink, mostly pink and blue, was because Howl has this diamond print jacket that I couldn't find a way to translate into another kind of jacket because just undertaking another huge project just was not in the cards for me at this point. So I thought that doing a simple accessory like a neckerchief in the same colors would be a good way to keep that spirit of the garment in another way. So here I'm struggling to get the edge of the fabric into the roller foot on my sewing machine because this is just a far quicker way than trying to do it all by hand. And I have a lot of projects on the go at the same moment, so for the economics of time, it just made sense. Once I finally got it though, it was pretty quick going, and I didn't even bother to cut the serging off that I had originally sewn on to toss it in the wash and it wouldn't come unraveled because the roller foot just like pushed it all underneath, and it ended up looking really, really nice. But then I ran into an issue when the French seam that I had sewn earlier was too thick to actually go through the roller foot, but I managed to pry it out with an awl. It didn't sew and I had to start over a little bit further down, and unfortunately it also tore a little bit of a hole, which I can thankfully go in and mend by hand. But knowing that it's too thick for the roller foot, I had to come up with an alternate option for the second side, which was just going slower. As for the pants, I used the print at home pattern for men's Regency trousers from Laughing Moon Patterns. This was the first time I attempted making pants, and it was a thoroughly enjoyable process. So instead of a tutorial, this is more of things that I did to have fun making this. And the first thing was that I actually used a recycled men's shirt as the lining for this pocket. This cardstock is a pressing board, which is really useful for getting those exact seams. So after the pieces have been interfaced and lined, this is the fall front extension, and this is the slash. So the slash, move it out of the way, pin this where it needs to be pinned, and that will eventually fold over to look like that, which will be covered by the fall. Doing the fall was what I originally anticipated as being super complicated, but when you carefully read the instructions and start to go from there, step by step, it makes sense, and it's really cool how it comes together. There are many parts involved, lots of ironing, lots of lining, interlining, but as you can see, the result is really, really crisp. What I love about this pattern is that there are 2 main pockets on either side and then a smaller pocket watch pocket, and they are quite sizable, which is excellent. Here is that men's shirt again. I also really like how the pockets have a little pointed flap that actually button to the pants. So the pocket bag gets folded in half and then sewn partway to secure it. After the pocket watch bag was reinforced, the way that we did it was by cutting it open and then taking all the guts from the inside and bringing it out to the outside. Now, what we didn't realize was that we sewed the lining on the wrong way, and it's actually not visible from the outside. So we were a bit disappointed to discover that, we being my mom and I, who's helping with this project. But the pocket watch opening is so small that you really don't see anything in the back anyway. A few brass buttons later and the main construction seams, and I have a lovely pair of pants. Thanks for following along with this two-part series. If you haven't seen the other one, go check it out. And hopefully you'll stick around for the final cinematic reveal at COSI.